As your vision clears, you just pause, listening to the silence. What happens if you ride off into the miasma, into the darkness? Surely it can't be worse than this endless loop, the horror, the combat, the conflict, and then the start again. But most likely you would just end up back on the road, back in this cursed wagon, back in front of that crossroads, with its lantern mocking you, and the signs guilt, loathing, failure, regret, and disgrace pointing every direction but the path forward. You sigh. You'll need a new set of companions. You're not sure how many loops it'll take, but you will beat this. What's going on, everyone? It's Loki Oren, and today we're doing another project run, and this one we're doing at the request of Kilermitko, who commented that they wanted to see a tank robber, so a grave robber in the front rank, making use of Dead of Night, which grants stealth, into Repartee, which grants dodge tokens as well as taunt tokens, and then Absinthe to heal and continue to dodge if necessarily. In this case, I think we get rid of Thrown Dagger for the moment, keeping Pick to the face for early damage until we have a corpse to set up the combo. But we'll give this a try. So our Grave Robber Audrey is a Wanderer, so no upgraded skills, no hero path, which is fine, but we need more of a squad. She's a Hatred of Fanatics, so she'll be very good in the Sprawl, but she's afraid of corpses, which is not great. Because Dead of Night, she's going to be hitting corpses, so we'll have to look to get rid of that. But I thought we would bring in some other favorites: Man-at-Arms, Plague Doctor, and the Highwayman to form the squad Dignitary's Escort. After all, the Grave Robber is a noble, and she needs a group of goons to follow her around. Let's see. So our Man-at-Arms is an apprentice. He starts with Courageous Abandon, upgraded, which doesn't feel like we're going to use. I think we are still going to stick with our usual plan of setting up his retribution and just keeping him to what he's good at. This just doesn't feel like something it's a ton of damage, but we kind of like those armor tokens. He is unerring, so range skills plus 10%. He has 0. Oh, he has one range skill, Bellow, which does no damage. Yeah, that's not a good trait for him. Next up is our Plague Doctor, Paracelsus, who's a Wanderer this go-round. So she is in the third rank, and if we think about the formation, she is going to often end up in the second or third rank consistently. Iron Stance and Misses the Mark, those are familiar. Misses the Mark is bad. But I think in this case we get rid of Ounce of Prevention naturally. And I think we get rid of Blinding Gas for Magnesium Rain and leave in Incision. Paracelsus is going to get to wield the knife some more, which gives us Blight, Bleed, and Burn on a single character. We'll have to think about cause of death. And then finally, Dismas, our Highwayman. He is going to be spending a lot of time in the back rank, but if we think about it, he will get into the third rank. So Wicked Slice can stay. Duelist Advance has some use as well. We might probably get rid of Tracking Shot and put in Double Tap. That's 2. Oh, so we've got Misses the Mark and Head in the Sand, so lots of blind tokens. But Peacemaker is very good, plus 30% chance of positive affinity changes. So that's pretty good. So I think this is this will be the setup of skills we go for right now. No hero paths, unfortunately. But I definitely see the potential of this this formation. So let's dive in. Thinking about Dignitary's Escort at a macro level, I will say that this is just a reimagining of Unusual Suspects with the characters in different positions. Grave Robber has moved up. Grave Robber, Plague Doctor have changed spots. Man-at-Arms has moved back one, and the Highwayman has moved back 2. So it's just the Unusual Suspects rearranged, and I think a lot of what we said about Unusual Suspects is still going to be true. As we get our loot here, Trackers map, so we'll see creatures' dens and oases. That's not awful. Put those on somebody. And these are both just junk, so we'll just get rid of those. But, you know, it's the same story. Barristan will be our frontline tank, combining with Audrey, who will be using Repartee, which is really just, like, the tanking version of Pirouette. Those two will mitigate a lot of incoming damage. In this case, Audrey just by dodging it, and Barristan by tanking it and smacking back. Dismas is going to be his crit machine self. Paracelsus is going to be her dot generating self. So I think we end up with a pretty, I think it's going to end up being a pretty similar run to Unusual Suspects. But with the added benefit of, kind of an interesting use of the Grave Robber. So thank you, Kilermitko, for throwing this out as an idea. I'm happy to participate, and comment section as we finish this run. When we finish this run, I'll be looking for new runs to try out in addition to ones I've already picked. So if you've got a thought or opinion on a particular run you'd like to see, drop it in the comments. I'm happy to take a look and prioritize some over others. Thinking more, I don't think there's much else to say about this formation. So unfortunately, early on, we're just going to be picked to the face. And that's going to be just the early damage until we get a way to generate stealth on her. So something we'll have to think about is any of the ways that grant her stealth at the start of the round will be potentially quite good on her. As we incision, sadly that wasn't enough to get us there, but Barristan will. We'll get rid of that corpse and get into stealth. And I do like this formation for one reason, which is that it's letting Paracelsus use Incision. It does mean that Dismas can't really. Yeah, we are going to need Duelist Advance, I think, because until we get the arrangement of the of Repartee, we end up with Dismas not being able to hit the first rank, which is not ideal. We could swap in Grape Shot Blast. That is the alternative there. But let's actually get our loop here. So, Repartee. Now, I thought Repartee moved you back. Oh no, she stays where she is. Okay. I misread that skill. Okay, so we are going to keep her in the front two here, which does mean that if Dismas is not going to be getting back, then Wicked Slice is less good, though Duelist Advance does keep him in the hunt. So if that's the case, if we're just going to have Tank Robber stand in front because literacy is important, that does make Grape Shot Blast more appealing. Probably more appealing than Wicked Slice. Because we can duelist advance into range to use double tap. So Wicked Slice. You know what? We'll keep it like this for now. I'm not sure. We'll think about it more. But I think that's probably just fine, as we'll spend a poetry to heal a single point of stress because, why not? Boxing gloves, we'll just put on the two characters that it makes sense to put it on. And let's check our Provisioner. Stimulating Poultice. Book of Rousing Songtales is pretty good. Whiskey Barrel. Book of Rousing Songtales? Yeah, you know what? We'll spend that early. Give everyone a speed boost and mastery points. So let's check what the upgrade for Repartee is. It just gives her even better dodge tokens. So I think that will be our second upgrade. Same with Dead of Night. It's very good, but we don't need it immediately. I think we are going to still go with Bolster. And the reason to do that is just Bolster is amazing. We'll load in our trackers map because there's no reason not to, and check our route. Alrighty, here we go. Foreclosure notice. Grave Robber only. Self on crit, which she has pretty good crit chances. Extra action 25% of the time. So greater heat shield we don't care about. And that's Trench Run, 50% less path choices. Or we could go to the Sluice. We're not going to see any field hospitals. That's pretty good, though. Do we want to go to the foreclosure notice? Choices, choices, choices. Sluice, we get a couple of mastery points, but we potentially run into the Swine Skiver, which just hurts right now. And I don't know. I think we just go straight to the Sprawl. I think we just go for the Librarian. Well, actually, we won't be that great at fighting the Librarian early, because we have to get Audrey into the second rank to have her hit, right? Yeah, she needs second rank for poison darts. Yeah, which isn't impossible. Extra action on crit is something she wants to be doing. She wants to be critting a lot. We don't really have a good source of combo, though. So we're not going to be that consistent. Choices, choices, choices. Fight no more than 3 road battles. That's can be fairly annoying to get. Alright. I'll bite. We're not going to get it. We'll go to the Sluice. It's likely to get us killed, but I'm not satisfied with the foreclosure notice being good enough. It's close, but I don't think it's good enough. So, thank you all for watching, and thanks to Kilermitko for recommending this a formation that involves a tank robber. We'll look forward to getting her into her tanking configuration. Unfortunately, we really need to find a constant source of stealth for her so we can get there a little more consistent. There is a combat item that gives her stealth, so we'll have to think about that. But anyway, till next time, like, comment, subscribe. You all know the drill. We'll see you in the Sluice.